Hello, my name is Randy and I'm a game developer. In case you don't believe me, check it out. Hold on, can I flip? I don't think I can flip this while recording. See, there's a comment on my game and it says developer right there. That's my screen name. It says developer. That's me, game developer. The window's small because I was trying to hide other people's screen. Don't worry about it. It says developer. Just believe me. If my clickbait title did its job, then you're watching this video because, like me, you want to be a game developer. I'm going to tell you a quick story. So I have a college degree. Woo! Debt! And one of the only things I actually learned in college was from a creative writing professor. And on the very first day of this class, we all sat around in this big workshop table and all the students were sitting around. The professor was standing up and walking around and he's like, okay, before I get started, show of hands, who here wants to be a writer? And of course, since we're all in a creative writing class and presumably we're all doing English degrees, we all raised our hands. And he kind of violently slammed his hands down on the table. I'm not going to do that because my camera's on the table. But he slammed his hand down. He's like, put your hands down. You are writers. You don't want to be writers. You are writers. And he went on to explain that, if you put pen to page or put words on a page, chances are you're a writer. You might not be as far along as he is or other writers, but you're a writer. And I've hung on to that. I've hung on to that story for a very long time. Again, one of the few things I actually learned in college with the tens of thousands of dollars I spent. I raised my hand even though, I didn't necessarily want to be a writer per se. That was kind of my backup plan. My original plan was to be a video game developer. And that was something that I didn't even know was a thing growing up. When I first played, it was Contra on the NES. When I was 2 years old, when I first played that, I'm like, holy crap, this isn't just magic. It's not possible what's happening right now. I am controlling what's on the screen. It's like something is happening super far away, and I'm the one making it happen. It wasn't until a few years later where I'm like, wait a minute, people made this. This isn't magic, because magic doesn't exist. And that's when, my childhood optimism died, and I became a cynical jerk. But it also made me go down the path that I wanted to be a game developer. So throughout the years, and I might get into more specifics of my life down the road, but more or less I tried a billion different ways to make it happen, but it was just so hard. So ended up with a backup plan, and the backup plan didn't really pan out. Now I get paid to do something I'm not necessarily crazy about, but it pays the bills. I've always, though, had the bug to make games. And I've always tried, and I've downloaded RPG Maker, and I've played around with Super Mario Maker, and I've done Game Maker and Unity and all this stuff, and I've tried them all, but nothing really, I never crossed the finish line with any of it. One day, I saw an advertisement for a game jam that was a month long. Traditionally, game jams are 3 days, 1 week tops, and I'm like, there's no way I can do that. But a month that's more like it. That's what I'm talking about. I can probably figure something out in a month. Fortunately, I have a friend that his name is Luke Payne, and he wants me to plug him. So, hello, Luke. You're going to be referenced a few times here. He's actually working to become a regular developer. He's working on his degree right now. But I had mentioned to him, I'm going to participate in this game jam. And he's like, well, oh yeah? I'm going to participate in this game jam. And I said, oh yeah? Well, why don't we participate together? We have different strengths. So it just makes sense, right? He's like, yeah. And then we fought each other. So yeah, that's how that started. And as the updates for the jam came along, we kept saying oh, I can't wait to see what the theme is. And because if you don't know what a game jam is, you get a theme and you have to make a game on that theme very quickly. We just kept refreshing the page. It said when the theme was going to show up, but I don't know. Thought maybe we could just get the theme before that. It didn't end up happening that way. In fact, it was directly when they said it was going to be, the theme was released. So that was dumb. And the theme was revealed to be Moonshot. And as someone that has an English degree, I had no idea what Moonshot was. Fortunately, they actually put the definition in the description of the theme, but I didn't know what it meant. I had no idea. So Luke and I started brainstorming, and we're doing it kind of in a weird way because I work first shift, he works second. So we're kind of just typing back and forth and sending quick text to each other, and we came up with a lot of really dumb ideas. My idea was that, Moonshot, let's be political with it. Let's have anti-vaxxers with their butts exposed, and you shoot vaccinations into their butts, like moon shot. Get it? Uh-huh. But no, that was dumb. That was bad. There was a few other ideas. I don't know what made me think of this, But I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, what if you could jump up to the moon? He might have actually said that. I don't want to steal credit from him, but he's like, what if you shot up to the moon and back, and you have 2 levels each on the moon versus the Earth? You have a Earth level and a moon level. And I said, oh, okay, that sounds kind of neat. And then for whatever reason, I was picturing this guy that was going to check the mail. There was a little rock in the way between his house and his mailbox, and I said, what if in order to get over that rock, instead of stepping over it, instead of jumping over it, you have to shoot up to the moon and then walk a little ways and then shoot directly back down in front of the rock? And that doesn't make any sense at all, but it sounded kind of funny. So we started rolling with that, and we started spitballing ideas, and I had this idea like, well, for a platformer, which is what we decided on, it would work out really well because you go up and down, and as long as it's on a flat plane, there's really no reason we couldn't just force the issue of having to go up to the moon and then back down. So we decided on what became Moon Jump, which is a title that we're going to have to change if we continue working on it, because there are a lot of moon jumps. A lot of them. Too many. Bad SEO. Hopefully worse SEO than what this video is going to do. So we came up and we started rolling with it. He's a programmer, so he started coding the very basics. And we need art, so I started drawing the main character. And I'm always watching a lot of old Nickelodeon cartoons from the 90s, and I love that stuff, and the animation style and the absurdist humor. I love it. So I wanted to do something like that, and I also wanted a bit of a non-traditional main character, so I made him fat, and I gave him, he's kind of dumb, but he's not dumb. We had that decided, and he sent me the prototype of the controls very, very quickly, because I had given him the art almost within a day or two after the main character, almost within a day or two, and he had the game up and running within a day or two. And almost immediately I started picturing how this was going to work, and I'm picturing puzzles of it goes up this way and this way, and it's just snowballed like crazy. But it was a lot of work, and I can tell you, as someone that has a full-time job, that I work actually more than full-time. I have 2 children. I have a child on the way. I have a wife. This is not my wife, but I have one, and that should give you an idea that I do. And all these things take time. They take time away from working on this game. And fortunately, they're supportive, and I said, like, hey, this means something to me, and I want to work on it, and I want to get this done. And they were supportive in it. And at the end of the day, they still require some time. Fortunately, this jam was a month long, so even if I only got an hour on it a day, or half an hour even in some cases, it still was progress towards this thing. So how did I have the time to complete this thing? And did I complete this thing? Yes, we completed the game, and the best feeling in the world was, number one, posting it. That was, I didn't think we were going to do it. I was proud of what we pulled off. Even better than that, we started getting comments on the game. Specifically, they were praising the work that I did. They liked the art of the main character. They liked the sound effects, which I did. They liked the design, which I did. Luke did nothing. He got no credit for anything, because he might as well not even have participated. I'm joking. Without any of his code, this wouldn't have happened. So very much appreciate any praise that I get, or the aspects of the game that get praise. He also deserves, because again, none of it would exist without him. So the voting for the game jam ended, and we came up in like 49th place or something like that, and that's total with the crappy art and the crappy sound effects dragging it down. But the design and the gameplay were really high. They were in the top 20, and there were 500 plus, like 501 I think exactly, games submitted. So that's pretty darn good for your first game. So, but you're watching this to figure out how you can do it yourself, and not everybody has the luxury of A, flexible job, B, a supportive family, or C, a friend that can do all the coding for you. But what I want to get across to you is that it doesn't matter how old you are. I'm 31. It doesn't matter where your life has taken you, but I want to bring it back to what my professor said at the beginning. You are a game developer if you want to be. If you are going to put something on a screen and make it move, you are a game developer. You might not be as far along as people that are selling millions of copies of games. You might not be as far along as someone that has completed their first game jam like me, but you can be. It's just a matter of time, right? So what I would recommend is find the thing that works for you. I would go and find a game jam, even one that's very quick. Like, look at all the tutorials. We live in an age where you can learn anything with a touch of a button. If you were watching this video, you have the ability to learn anything you want, and it's insane, and it's all brilliant. And if you want some recommendations of stuff that I use to learn, hit me up, leave a comment or whatever. I will reply, and I will come up with more ways to better use your time if you have a busy schedule, or if you're not familiar with it, or you're just scared. You're scared to start trying. Again, this is a topic for another video, but I've thrown myself out there in so many different ways over the years, recently even, and it always pays off. It will always pay off for you if you put yourself out there and try. So you just got to try, because you are a game developer. I am a game developer. And I guess that's that, right? So if you enjoyed this, if you found this helpful in any way, then please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, hit me up. I will respond to you until I become rich and famous, and then there will be too many of you to respond to. But that's not going to happen. Unless I say it will happen, in which case I am a rich and famous YouTube star. There we go. I've done it. See you, losers. I don't need you anymore. All right. Thanks.